delight.
Good evening, everybody. You've got your guys here from Crossroads Sports, Game Time Podcast, the wonderful mix of CrossTime College Football preview. My guys are with me. JB is fired up about what Notre Dame did yesterday. I can't wait to hear about that.
The world should be.
A lot of good stuff over the weekend, and we're really anticipating Tuesday as being something pretty special. So we'll see how that goes. But started off, let's start off with you, JB. Give me your take on the Saturday's game and what you took from it.
I watched more than just Notre Dame, man, y'all. So you know what I'm saying, as everybody kind of considered this somewhat of a bye week, definitely for the SEC. I kind of found it interesting, man. Before I talk about the game, you know what I'm saying, before I talk about the Notre Dame putting up 70, you know what I'm saying, I thought they were treading towards 80, man. To be honest with you, man, but he did kind of call off the dogs, man. I kind of thought Dan Lanning little comments after game, and you know what I'm saying, letting everybody know that I still, you know what I'm saying, as far as the Big Ten is concerned, I still run the West Coast and lay USC flat. I kind of thought, you know what I'm saying, his little zinger there, and he's done it before, man, you know what I'm saying, but this is definitely bye week for some of these, you know what I'm saying, power teams picking up wins. You know what I'm saying, I don't knock the hustle, you know what I'm saying, too much per se. You know what I'm saying, there, you know what I'm saying, everybody has quote unquote cupcakes on the schedule. When and where you play them, how you play them, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of determined upon on the schools and the money that's kind of being, you know what I'm saying, divvied up between them and whatnot. But man, Notre Dame, shifting little gears, man. Notre Dame, you know what I'm saying, a lot of folks didn't think they could cover. I think the cover was like 35. And, you know, they have to mentality kind of still show, I think, some of the, you know what I'm saying, these voters and whatnot that determine the playoff teams that, yes, they did lose to Miami, and there's a big crying about with the Hurricane fans, man. And, you know what I'm saying, Michael Irvin's up here running, you know what I'm saying, doing what he does. You know what I'm saying, hey, man, if Notre Dame does kind of end up in front of us, then how does that we beat them? You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, man, you know, Notre Dame put you know what I'm saying, showed them what they can do. 2 weeks gunning, man, because Pitt like a different team yesterday against Georgia Tech. And, you know what I'm saying, week before, Notre Dame, you know what I'm saying, shut all that down. You know what I'm saying, as well, man. So Notre Dame's on the rise. You know, I got an answer for those people, for the Hurricane fans, you know what I'm saying, who, you know what I mean, but Notre Dame's on the rise, man. It was, you know what I'm saying, it was a, you know, a great win for them, and you know what I'm saying, something Syracuse is gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, think about basketball season.
Fair enough. Brandon, what are you thinking?
I think if I look at the highlight of the week in this bye week, like I said off the air, I took it as a bye week myself this weekend. Just kind of hit and miss, tune in here, tune in out. I think the highlight of the week's got to be Jonathan's boy and his mama, Diego Pavia. His mama going crazy in the stands, a little twerk action on senior day. That's got to be the highlight of the week. And the comments were just brutal, which was great. But no, I think my biggest highlight in all reality really is my guy. We're keeping it in camp right now. We've got 6 days before the decision. This is like LeBron decision 2.0, 3.0.
It's not going to be the YMCA though.
Will we be putting on a LSU hat? Will we be putting on a Florida Gator hat? We'll find out, but I know he ain't staying because if he was staying, this whole charade would have been ended a long time ago, and he would have took the money with Ole Miss. So, I think Lane Train is even the way that it was fabricated in the post on yesterday morning. I think he's on his way. So, Lane Train, they've got one more game Friday. Against Mississippi State. I wish it was still on Thanksgiving night because that was always a great egg bowl to fall asleep to as you're stuffed with food on. But yeah, we'll see what happens here, and hoping the best for my boy.
You know, my take on I'll go backwards on the Lane deal is 2 ways it can go, right? Lane's been big on trolling, playing the fool with people, playing the coy game. I could see he and the chancellor come out and say, I was never leaving. I'm always staying. And then they announced, a month later that he gave him a 5-year, $80 million extension, something like that, right? That's one piece of it. The other piece of it is, I even posted on our page. I said he gone because to your point, Brandon, if they're saying we're going to make the announcement, in this dynamic, why wouldn't you just say I'm going to stay? I don't watch him as religious as maybe others, but I haven't seen any highlight or anything for him saying I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere. I haven't heard him say I'm not going anywhere. And
Wouldn't you think you'd put this all to bed and you're having the best season of the program's history in a while? That
yeah,
you want to put all this focus towards this college football playoff coming up, and I guess you could still say a potential SEC maybe, unless that's already wiped out. I think it's probably already wiped out that they can't make it, but you got to focus on this. That's the only thing I don't understand. Like, if we're going to do it, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go ahead and say it, because that way it still gives you time to focus, right?
right.
But for now, I mean, we're going to wait till after this, and I think he's banking on them going to just having a regular first round game at home. This will give it at least 2 to 3 weeks before, maybe let some of the people pissed off, if he does leave, kind of like the heat go down, because he doesn't have to be on that practice field or on that game field for a couple of weeks after next week. So I don't know. It's just weird. I thought you're going to your biggest game, you want the least amount of distractions as you can.
It's funny because it's similar situation when he was at Bama as the OC and he took the job. Was that Central Florida he went to, or wherever the hell it was in Florida?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, he left, prior to, national championship game. That's when Sark was basically the analyst who took over for play calling. So this isn't anything that we haven't seen from Lane. But, as I've been steadfast on this show, man, he's not an Oxford, Mississippi dude, man. I get it. Mississippi, Ole Miss, you see the stadium, you see all the wonderful things, but you go 3 miles either way, you hit I-55 and your closest thing is to Tunica, Mississippi. That's it. And pretty much Tunica's shutting down. So I just don't see, unless they back up the Brinks truck and get him $14 million annually. I even still would think that wouldn't be enough if LSU matched that number. So
how's LSU spent all this money for a potential Lane contract, and shit, they still even paid out the contract for Brian Kelly.
Yeah, and trying to create it like it was for cause. Well, yeah, it was a cause because he sucked, but we knew that 3-4 years ago. So, the governor's got involved in all of this, and maybe the governor signed off on the deal for Lane.
Seems like a whole lot of meddling hands that Lane would have to endure, and voices that he'd have to endure to go to LSU. When you talk about Florida, that opens up a little different package. That he had some success, 2-time conference champions, I do believe, when he was back when he was in Florida, in that power. So however you feel about Conference USA championships, but so there might. I feel like, though, that you be going to Florida, that's still a 2-year rebuild for you. And then why would you leave, the greener pasture that you have laid out here in Oxford, Mississippi? I get it, man. The surrounding areas is, Yoda Lake Hoo. But no, man, I really think this is all media spin, to tell you, hey, man, you was wrong. Absolutely. To jack up the price. Absolutely, man. Calipari does it on the basketball side. Why can't Lane Kiffin do it, man? He's already done. I've been from SoCal to Tennessee, back to the NFL. Like, man, why would you think he would go anywhere else, man, to kind of run up there? I think we also kind of understanding that this is also somewhat of a family decision. The wife has to, and the family, has to, kind of come together on some of this big moving and whatnot. I get it, man. The LSU dollars are crazy, man. But again, man, the governor cannot come in here and tell me what we're gonna run on Saturday night against that's not you're not gonna do that, man. It's bad enough that it happens in the pros. You know what I mean? So I just think there's too many. And again, I'm not saying there probably is some type of to run Ole Miss There probably is some type of, you have to deal, deal with the administration and whatnot. But for the most part, they don't get in his way. And we definitely ain't got no, the mayor of the city, the alderman either, telling him, who's going to have to play, whatever bowl game. And so,
Can you
sometimes.
imagine Mike Braun telling Signetti what to run?
Right. Oh my God. You can't tell Mike Braun can't tell me what to run, damn it.
So here's the thing, the counter to that, JB, is in Ole Miss, you're talking about a school that hadn't done anything, right? They're the last girl at the dance that's going to be picked up to be danced with in the last song. They're just thinking. I promise
you speaking from an Alabama. You speaking from an Alabama perspective.
No,
and I'm not shading that, man. But 10 win seasons. We're not gonna sneeze around about that last 3 seasons, man. And you still now at the playoffs, man. With Ole Miss.
I understand.
Here's my point. Definite instability with that other institution that is called LSU with their coaching staff, man. So you got to get lucky and get your Jaden Daniels in order to keep your job. Absolutely, That's what you're telling me.
No.
Definitely instability. It's been instability since Urban Meyer left in Florida, and he had a locker room that was, on fire. So like, nah, man, you gotta stick with some of the stability that you put together.
Here's what I'm saying to you. Prior to him getting to Ole Miss, they were 8-win team at their best. They're happy and joyful. He's absolutely brought a hell of a lot more than that. But still, at the end of the day, they're the last girl to be picked. Well, if he goes to LSU, and again, for me, it doesn't matter one way or the other. But if he goes to LSU, he doesn't have to work as hard to get players in LSU than he does at Ole Miss. That's a fact. And I understand there's an NIL piece to this as well. But LSU stands on its own from a college football perspective. Hell, even better than Alabama does.
I think that makes the ramp up quicker.
Yeah,
because of the way their transfer is now.
Defensive backfield. They're going to get receivers. They're going to get running backs. That's a given in LSU.
It didn't work for Brian Kelly. It didn't work for Brian Kelly. It wasn't instant. Oh, okay. Brian Kelly wasn't necessarily a dead dog leaving Notre Dame. He's
not Notre one Dame. Of them.
He's not. Yeah, listen. Okay. He wet the bed when he did the fake accent. Do the fake accent for me, Brandon.
Me and my family are really excited to be down here in the bayou.
When that happened, it was all over, man. I'm telling you.
That's easy. No, no. But he still had the talent. He still had the talent. You look at all his stars.
It's homegrown. But guess what he did with that talent? He pissed the bed with that talent, JB.
Oh, after he took, he had Jaden Daniels. I just told you the answer, man. He had Jaden Daniels.
Transfer portal. I'm talking about what after that was handed to him.
How is JB a Brian Kelly stan right now? Yeah. Holy cow!
I'm just telling you, man.
Well, again, we're not necessarily in the NFL operate model just yet, and they LSU, not to necessarily put this in his nip, they put themselves in a bind. You said it, Brandon. You can't afford. You got to pay that Brian Kelly money ain't going away. A settlement. What does a settlement look like? $45 million. Okay, you still got to pay at LSU. Sorry. And then you got to pay this dude $25 million.
It ends up being less if he gets a new deal somewhere else. So maybe that's what they're hoping to.
Again, they're not just nearly printing money down there, with the sweet teas and just whatnot, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think, we're somewhat in a money crunch here, just, So I think he stays.
And he very well could stay, but I'll tell you this, and for this, if he stays, he's going to be about an annual $14 to $15 million. He's not going to be where he is and stay. He's going to get a lift. He's going to get it, but we'll see. The good thing about it is we got about a week until we know, right? But that won't stop us from debating and going back and forth about it. I hope not anyway. So, yeah. So, whatever he does is going to be based on his long-term opportunity. And I think maybe looking at it as his last hurrah. I think he'd be hell at LSU, but he's also been hell at Ole Miss as well, just not national title, type of hell at Ole Miss. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see. But to Brandon's point, he's not Kelly. He's been down. He's been at Tennessee. He's been 2 stints at Bama. Now this is year 4 at Ole Miss. He's one of them.
Respectfully, LSU got a other schools in front of them problem now. They're just as sharp as you now. You know what I'm saying? Oklahoma, they gutted out. I mean, Missouri, you know what I'm saying? They helped Missouri tight game, man. But Oklahoma, this is gonna be another year. Like they just got super hot. So you telling me, yeah, now everybody's gonna jump to LSU because somebody, nah, man. This other team's already got, you know what I'm saying, boots on the ground and probably gonna be challenging for the SEC championship next year for sure. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna
If
be good
not,
fodder in 6 days.
Say what now?
It's gonna be good fodder in 6 days because like I said, I can see both ends of the spectrum. See him staying he'll get more money if he stays at Ole Miss. But he also has an opportunity when he goes to LSU to win real world national titles. I don't think he has an opportunity at Ole Miss. But again, we could go back and forth on that. But there was more being played yesterday and talking about than Lane Kiffin going to LSU, Florida, or staying at Ole Miss. What
Brandon
else?
brought that up. Brandon one brought that up because he want Lane Train to, you know what I'm saying? He want Lane Train to come to the Big Ten. That's not happening.
Never said that.
They took him way off the Penn State, you know what I'm saying, radar, way off.
You know what hit me yesterday was the way Georgia Tech wet the bed, man. It was 28-14 at halftime. Third quarter, they give it, I think, out of 3 and out. They're driving the ball, get down there and they throw a pick six. It goes from potentially 21-28 to 35-14, and that's pretty much what put the nail in the coffin for Georgia Tech. That was about the 5-minute mark in the third quarter. Yeah, they made a valiant comeback, but you're not good enough and have the legacy to say we can just come back when we want to. You haven't earned that yet. And Georgia Tech wet the bed yesterday. Mr. Keys wet the bed, and that's disappointing because I really thought that they would be representing the ACC in the playoffs. They don't have a chance in hell right now.
No, the only chance in hell. The only chance in hell. They don't have a chance in hell. You definitely want to finish the season next week versus Georgia on a high note. This team just kind of just plays too sloppy. Yesterday, too many INTs from Haynes King. Yep. And you know what I'm saying, defensive line, you know what I'm saying, could not hold anything. Pittsburgh did what they kind of wanted to do. And that's kind of the tale of the tape, man. You know, they got in front of Pittsburgh, got in front of it, and it was a different Pittsburgh team that you thought. I was like, man, well, throwing at them throughout this game, man. Georgia Tech don't hang their heads too low, man. That you got to give up for that. You got to get up for that rivalry game. You know what I'm saying, and not necessarily punt on your season just because you out of the ACC championship game. I have a different kind of. Now I gotta apologize. Do I gotta apologize to the Pitt coach? You know what I'm saying? Because they won this week, man. He put together a great scheme. He put together a great scheme against, and they were blitzing. They were blitzing Haynes King, and he just, you know what I'm saying, all in his face, and he kind of showed, you know what I'm saying, some of this, you know what I'm saying, why he's somewhat of a limited quarterback. And like I said, their difference is not. They got a lot of plotters and not enough guys, you know what I'm saying, they can get to put they didn't put a whole lot of pressure on the freshman quarterback from Pitt, man. So I don't know. What's the jumble looking like as far as the ACC championship game? Because Miami's out of it as well. Who's in it? Virginia.
Was it Duke? Duke won yesterday.
Well, yeah, Duke got a win. Like, yep. Coach, come on, Coach. Shame on Coach, man. He just like, dude, just get out of college football, man. He's just getting Duke like first time coaches and younger, you know what I'm saying, on milk under their breath. Coaches is getting their first time win against the great Bill Belichick.
I need Jonathan Birdsong to apologize.
I'm not apologizing. No.
You need to apologize to SMU. You've been disrespectful this whole season to the SMU.
They beat somebody yesterday.
They are about to go to the ACC championship. So
will that be them and Virginia then? Is what it looks like right now?
Well, right now it's Virginia. I think Pitt. They're all 3-6-1. So I don't know what the tiebreaker comes out to.
Head to head, I would imagine. I think the first tiebreaker is head to head.
Well, Pitt or SMU didn't play either one of them.
Eesh.
That's what I hate about all this, right?
Well, that's the uneven schedule. That's
and why. Virginia and Pitt never played each other.
There you go.
It's because Notre Dame was playing that ACC schedule.
Nah, too busy playing them California teams that don't nobody give a damn about.
So ACC, you're talking Virginia, SMU-ish, Pittsburgh-ish.
Yeah.
Roll over to Big Ten. Dan Lanning had a lot to say yesterday. He was pounding his chest. I don't think his veins was popping.
I don't know what for.
Neck. Listen. I don't think his veins were popping out of his neck when he was mad at Dion a couple of years ago. But this goes to show you this is what this has created. This 12-team playoff. Every coach wants to try to grandstand. I'm gonna show you something. If you look at the Oregon schedule, I want to say they played Prairie something early in the year or something, but he didn't talk about that yesterday. It's not when you play them, if you play them or not. So I think it was Prairie Point or Prairie View or something along those lines, like most teams do with cupcakes earlier in the season.
Yeah.
So I get it. He wants to pound his chest, say, look at us. That's great, right? But at the end of the day, you can't play, and your words aren't going to help you when it's 11-on-11.
There are 7 different scenarios for next week for the Big Ten and for the Big Ten championship. So I saved the tweet this evening that came out a little while ago. Scenario 1 for the Big Ten title game is obviously Ohio State versus Indiana, right? Both of them undefeated. They both win this weekend. They're in. Scenario 2 is Indiana versus Oregon. That's scenario number 2. Wow. Scenario number 3 is Indiana versus Michigan. Scenario 4 is Ohio State versus Indiana, with IU being 8-1. Scenario 5 is Oregon versus Michigan, both of them being 8-1. And that's if Ohio State and Purdue or IU both just completely shit the bed. And then scenario 6 is Michigan, Ohio State, which could be a crazy one. And then scenario 7 would be Ohio State and Indiana, with Ohio State being the 9-0 and Indiana being that 8-1 team. So there's 7 scenarios. I use in 5 of them. So you got to feel good being the Hoosiers. And I think even though I got the Purdue stuff on, but let's not get it twisted. I'm already in basketball season months ago.
There you go.
They are going to curb stomp the Boilermakers this weekend. 28.5 is not big enough. I'd put the old condo mortgage on it that they are going to stomp them by 30 plus up at Ross-Ade.
86.
Yeah. So with that said, there's a lot of scenarios. The only scenario where any others could work that don't include Indiana with them losing to Purdue. And am I right? And I mean, there's no chance in that. So I think in those 5 scenarios, and I don't think.
Well, I'm just saying, if Ohio State loses to Michigan, there is a scenario where Oregon could get in.
Well, no, I'm talking about Indiana being. I think Indiana's a lock to be in.
Yeah, they're locked.
And I think it'll be a tough game this weekend with Michigan and Ohio State. But I just think Ohio State has too many horses for Michigan. I think it's going to be too much for them. Yeah, maybe they're in Michigan. Maybe it'll be close in the first half. But
spread I saw. I thought, 13.5, I think was the number I looked at.
Is that what they're giving? 13.5?
10.5, excuse me, 10.5.
Oh, okay. Sounds more like right.
Purdue and Indiana is 28.5. So like I said, to raise it. They beat them 66-3 last year.
Yeah. And they weren't as good last year as this year.
Yeah, and I think Purdue's worse.
Yeah. So, definitely take Indiana in the points in this one. I would say comfortably, as a matter of fact. I'd be real comfortable. I would almost call that a lock of the weekend. But to that point, right? So what we're really thinking is Indiana, Ohio State. We're thinking Pitt versus Virginia, or SMU versus Virginia, or Virginia versus Pitt. And then, you're talking about the Big 12. I think that, BYU with the big win this weekend, meant a lot to them. There's a chance, and it's not a far-reaching chance, that the Big 12 could get 2 teams in as well, which would mean BYU and Texas Tech, which would impact the Big 10 and the SEC, right? Because, you were thinking, Big 12 is going to get 1. If they get 2, that means more than likely there's going to be an SEC team on the outside looking in.
Yeah,
unless Michigan beats Ohio State, and then they've got
Right.
they feel like they've got something to say.
nah. BYU got to beat Texas Tech on the rematch. They can't lose again and be thinking they can get back into some type of playoff situation.
So if they lose in the conference championship, that would give them 2 losses.
Yep.
But you lose in your conference championship
against the good old boys from Texas Tech in their cowboy hats. You know what I'm saying?
I look forward to seeing that because I want chaos. Everybody talks about when we talked about in our show. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, it was AP poll, UPI poll, no game. Then we went to the 14 process, the BCS. People complained about that. Now we're at 12 teams. I promise you, there's going to be as much outrage in 3 weeks as there is, in the March Madness weekend of tournament.
Bearcats Bearcats played them close though, man. So that I can't necessarily favor BYU in any game against Texas Tech, man. Bearcats missed 3 field goals.
No, I think Texas Tech beats them. I think they beat them. But if it's a close game, I'm looking for chaos, man. I want it to be 20-19 with Texas Tech winning on the last drive on a field goal. I want chaos because we thought 12 is going to be enough. It's never enough, man. It could be 40.
Oh, I think 12 is enough. I really do. I really think 12 is enough.
You think that, but based off of what we see on the shows, on the CFB shows, you're going to have 4 or 5 teams that are miserable, and it's going to continue to grow. And that's what I want.
Well, misery. I mean, then go play the Constellation Bowl, or to try to hold your team together over the over the course of the season. But like, we can't just keep on pushing and saying we need 16 and we need 8 over here and 8 over there. Like, no, man.
What's your answer to NCAA basketball that's doing that? 32, 64, 65, 68. Now they're talking about what, 70?
Oh man, you don't be cutting in no basketball stuff, no language, and no football show, man. No, they need to.
I'm just sharing.
I don't even understand the concept of a play-in. Like you just either made the tournament or you made the tournament, friend. So they had the lower seed play-in. That's kind of goofy to me. So it's either 64 teams. However, mathematically, it kind of stays under 70. How about that? Because friends teams. Like some of the other tournaments, the college basketball tournaments, they need. I'm not saying they need a little juicing, but like some of these teams, it is what it is, man. You played who you played. My alma mater, Ball State. Book the cupcake. The little ladies of our Lord from Little Rock, Arkansas, didn't beat them. So like now you put yourself in a hard position. When MAC season plays, man, you gotta have to win at least 6-7 games in a row because like y'all, lay the egg, big egg. So. Like, no, man, college basketball, college football, obviously a little different how things are kind of determined. You have a little bit more sample size in basketball versus the one or versus, the 2 loss type of system. But, we know these teams kind of out the gate, the Notre Dames of the world, the Alabamas of the world, even the Florida States, even though they've missed steps since beating Alabama, and, it started the season. It kind of, these locker rooms are kind of, fueled by how close can we get to a conference championship and how close can we get to the playoffs? And if you go 4 or 5 games in and it seems like the confidence is not there, shoot, we seen it, man. This year they punted on how many coaches already through SEC and Big Ten play, man. So I don't know, man. That's just my little rant, man. I don't want it. That's just
no. I think, to be honest, I think we should be moving this conversation to what the SEC championship game could look like in these possible scenarios, because that's wide open based on all the standings. A&M said they're 7-0.
I'm glad you shift back there, man, because y'all just gonna glaze over. This show think this is gonna glaze over Arch Manning. We're not gonna do that, man.
That was next, JB.
We're not gonna do that, man, at all, man. We're not gonna glaze over that, man. If it was any other quarterback, y'all want to talk about Davio Pega and his mama twerking. I don't want to hear about that, man. He's going to be playing next year for the Memphis Showboats, one of them USFL teams.
He joined the lawsuit. He joined the lawsuit for an extended year or 2 based off his junior college player. So he's named in that lawsuit as well. He knows he's not good enough to play with the big boys, so he wants a couple more years in college football so he can keep on striking while the iron's hot.
But did Arch Manning throw for a touchdown yesterday? I do believe he did. Did he run for a touchdown yesterday? I do believe he did. Hey, man, did he catch a touchdown yesterday?
So
the answer is I do believe he did, man. Hey, man, find all Decot. I hope I know you know a bunch of them haters, man. Haters that said Arch Manning couldn't play. Find them.
Hey, I've seen it. Hey, you know I'm a receipt grabber, JB.
No, nobody's saying this. Nobody's saying this for the last four. Even though with the bad game against Georgia, you know what I'm saying. Nobody has said Arch Manning is terrible. Like nobody has said this, man. It's like deaf ears. Like no, Skaggy. I don't believe it, man. Deaf ears, man. But like it was great. It was great yesterday.
Hey, that's not biased because of the Manning name and it's
absolutely. I don't care. I don't care. You still got to show and prove. You got to show up. Call a touchdown. Peyton called a touchdown the next day to never. Look, Uncle, stop it. Come on, man. Ran for a touchdown. Did you see him run up the middle? Yeah. Sark better Sark just got out the way yesterday. Sark better figure out in the offseason how can we figure out how we protect this asset. You need a tight end. You need a running back that ain't from high school. You know what I'm saying? And get Texas back, hook them horns, and get Arch. Man, are you serious? They need to invite him to the gathering, man. I know they only get 4 people in the Heisman. Get Arch up in there, number 5.
Are we done with the glaze?
Give me your 4. Give me your 4, JB. I'm
this dude talking glaze. This dude talking glaze, and his quarterback is crying right. His professional quarterback's crying right. His eyes are right out about Danica Patrick. You know what I'm saying? Right now in California. Lord. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you the Colts, Pittsburgh Steelers, you need to think about watching some more Texas football. Don't start talking about no glaze. Play me 6'7", little brother and sisters. Hey. Yeah, I told you I had 6 pages. You thought this was all about a soft weekend, a bye weekend. I don't think so. It's not a bye weekend. Bye. We ain't even talking about Alabama playing at the University of Illinois Evanston. Come on, man. I professed.
Get the name right. Come on, that's Tony Romo's school.
Illinois.
Who is he?
Tony Romo went there.
I said if Bam. No, I'm sorry, I didn't profess it. But the homie professor, he said, man, if they don't score 55 points, it's a failure. Guess what? Bama rose to the occasion, got 56-0. Man, they on to the playoffs.
Bama controls their own destiny next weekend. Yep. If they beat Auburn and Texas beats A&M, or they beat Balmer and Mississippi State beats Ole Miss, or they beat Auburn, they win a 3-way tie with Ole Miss and Georgia on their SEC winning percentage. So Bama controls their own destiny to that SEC title game.
And I've said this more than once.
I'd rather not be in it.
If after next week, after this Tuesday, and they're really solid in that top 12, and obviously, you plan on them beating Auburn, man, I don't want them playing the SEC title game. Another chance to get for players to get hurt, another tough game. No. I'd prefer them sitting on the sidelines and traveling to wherever they've got to go, because it wouldn't be Indiana, Ohio State, Texas Tech, or another ACC team. So they wouldn't be in that situation.
You imagine the Crimson having to come up to Bloomington, JB?
Oh, man, that would be beautiful. But it won't happen because Indiana gets a bye week. They'll get a bye week because they'll be a top 4 seed. So,
if Bama loses.
Well, yeah, if Bama loses. But my point being is, as a Bama fan, I'd rather, I want them to win this week, but I don't want them playing in the SEC title game if they're comfortable in the top 12.
I can guarantee you the police will not be bumping into Arch Manning. I can guarantee you that. Guarantee you. No Smokies, no state sheriffs, none of that.
Who's your pick right now, Brandon? SEC title game. Who you got in the SEC title?
I got A&M Bama.
JB?
I really don't care.
But, wow.
No, I'm joking, man. I'm just messing with you, man. Based on what I've seen, man, it's going to take a whole lot for Texas to beat them, man. So it'll probably be A&M Bama.
I think it's going to be A&M and Ole Miss somehow.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, there was a fumble in the football game I just saw.
Ole Miss, this would be a good opportunity this year for Ole Miss to get in the SEC title game. First SEC title game for Lane Kiffin. Probably his last at Ole Miss. That is.
Oh man,
that'd be great to see.
Ole
Miss. It's going to take too much for them, man. Have you seen the scenarios for them? As much as I
saw
want
a few
them
of them, but there's a chance. As that in the movie, so you're saying there's a chance. So all you want is a chance.
Yeah, they need to beat Mississippi State, Texas beat A&M, and then Auburn beat Alabama, and then there's a chance.
I didn't see the Auburn beating Alabama, so okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. Because I guess I probably ignored it, but yeah, that's going to be tough too, right? So how many teams does that give us, right? If we're talking our 12 teams right now, are we talking, Penn State, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon in the Big 10 or Big 18. You got Texas Tech in the Big 12. You got 2 out of the ACC potentially, the way it looks right now.
I guess SMU. Yeah, I think. Or
then you got Miami. You got
no.
I'm sorry. The group of
Virginia.
4. Group of Virginia. Then a group of 4 school.
North Texas right now.
Yeah, that's at 9. Then you've got your SEC game. That's potential 4 from the SEC. So that rounds it out to 13.
You already said Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So y'all gonna regret that.
So maybe it'll be 3 SEC, 3 Big 18. That's 6. You got your group of 4. That's 7. Notre Dame. That's 8. 2 out of the Big 12 and 2 out of ACC. There you go. There's your 12. Right there. So the 2 teams are going to play in the title game SEC. Both will be in. Who's your outlier then? Is it Ole Miss? Is it Bama? Is it what if Vandy sneaks up and beats Tennessee this weekend?
For the who doesn't get in?
Yeah. That's going to be tough, man. And to to JB's point, that could be why the Big 12 may only get 1, because there's a lot of power in that SEC conference right now.
No Vanderbilt, no Texas. I mean that'd be
Ole
your
Miss,
next 2.
Ole Miss, Georgia, Bama, A&M.
That's it.
That's 4. Who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Your next 2 would be Vanderbilt and Texas.
Oklahoma. I'm sorry, Oklahoma.
Oh,
yeah. So it's 5. Potentially they've got 5 right now. So
John's
2 of those teams are probably going to be
John Miller songs, flip it over in his grave. That Sankey's getting 5 teams in this playoff.
I mean, who would you pick, JB? If you had to pick it right now?
I don't with the one list we kind of came out with initially. I really don't have a problem with those teams. The Oklahoma wasn't one in the initial 12, but they might have a little say. They might have if that maintains, they might have to have a little say if they kind of went out with the rest of the way, just because the litany of wins and who they won and how they won them. And I can say importance of part of the season. You know what I'm saying? It got their health, back, and they might have, like I said, they might have some say. No, man, I like those top 12, man. Vandy, I'll snicker at. But there's no Tennessee's not necessarily ranked right. I don't believe is Tennessee ranked right now. You know what I'm saying?
They are ranked, but they're 20th.
I was gonna say 19th or 20th. Yeah,
they would have to beat Tennessee 44-17 in order for them to kind of jump anybody in the top 12. So put a nice little ribbon in the sky, bow on their season, man. They can meet Northwestern in the in the Papa John Bowl.
So what we're saying is we have a really good bead on the 12. Maybe there may be 2 outliers, maybe an additional ACC team, or maybe if BYU pulls a rabbit out of their hat or something like that. So we think on this show we just named 12 teams.
Mm-hmm.
We got 12 teams, but I want chaos, man. I want somebody to get upset this weekend.
Texas in there.
I want there to be a big chaos. I want someone to be shook up. I want someone panning for 18-team playoff. I want to hear all of that, because that's what I want to see. That's what's going to get me going on next Tuesday night.
Montana State just beat Montana, so the Big Sky champion is not going to be undefeated. So there's one. you know what I'm saying, national champion that just, you know what I'm saying, somebody's going to ignore or whatever. Didn't the Army? No, so Navy took another loss before, you know what I'm saying? So like, no.
And they've got Memphis this weekend.
Yeah. So that you know what I'm saying, that conference kind of eats itself up at the end of you know what I'm saying, the middle part of the year, end of the year. So
Yeah,
like I don't really foresee any type of controversy, man. The Arizona states of the world just weren't as powerful this year as they should have been. Kansas State and Iowa, you know what I'm saying, they kind of Iowa State kind of canceled each other out. You know what I'm saying, when they kind of went down their schedule. We all know the problems that Prime kind of went through, so they wasn't definitely on anybody's power radar. Um, West Virginia still programmed. My homie had to ask the homie for $10 million in the course of the season, man. So, you know what I'm saying, they're, you know what I'm saying, still forming bunch. Even with Rodriguez there, they're still a forming bunch. So,
Hey, do we need to take Isaiah and get him some help? Because there's classes they have for people. My man's a Laker fan. My man's a Cowboys fan. Is he a Yankees fan?
Nah,
Next, like what? I mean, oh my God! Just saw his comment. Cowboy. Oh,
hey, I gotta talk to him about the ledge at least once a week, man. Hey.
Pro Sports Anonymous.
Can we fool Jerry Jones? We'd send Jerry. Did Jerry Jones still got them 2 first rounders?
Man, no, he gave up one.
Yeah, he gave up one, man. He better find it. He might get a deal with the coach, man. They send him an offensive lineman in the offseason.
But you know, it's crazy, JB. You said, you know, it's pretty much set. I'm telling you now, this Tuesday night at 7:45. Oh, it's gonna be some I'm gonna be sitting back, and I don't usually, you know, stalk Twitter and Instagram, but I'm gonna be stalking this
Miami's
Tuesday
probably
night.
gonna be upset.
I want to hear all.
Miami Hurricanes might be a little upset. They might be.
They already were upset. What? It's not gonna be anything new. I think it's actually gonna be pretty boring.
I think it's gonna be somebody else upset this weekend.
I don't. It was a boring week. All the teams that needed to won. It's just going to carry over to next week. I think you're going to have more chaos next week than you do this week.
Oh, definitely. I think this week it's going to have some chaos, but next week's going to even be more because of rivalry week, right?
Yeah. I will put whatever you want. I'll put a B-Dubs meal with you that there will be no chaos on Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, do you exclude Miami from that chaos then?
They already had. I mean, it's not chaos. They just bitched and moaned last week, and it's going to be the same bitching and moaning they're going to have. But they didn't beat the team they played this week as the caliber of what Notre Dame did.
I get it. Listen, I'm not a fan of either, but they're going to complain some more, and I'm hoping somebody else has a beef. Maybe BYU starts beefing because hey, we've lost one game. You know, but these schools they prepare for that next week after next.
They want to complain about Notre Dame. Okay, well, guess what? You played Syracuse early in the season. You beat them 38-10. Notre Dame just put up 70-something on them. There's your discussion right there. Hey, quality of victory.
I'm with you, but I want it's not good enough for me. I want anger.
Oh.
I want hell, fire, and brim. I want Cain, hell, fire, and brimstone. I want even more next week. And then with the last week, I wanted to go nuclear.
I want Mr. Jonathan Birdsong real quick to give a talk, it's going to be okay type of speech.
It's going to be okay.
To the folks down in the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, because Jeff Brom's team has just nosedived. 3 straight losses for them. California, Clemson, and then they got curb stomped 38-6 by SMU.
What does he do? They've been talking
about
him.
He's going to get fired to keep it going.
He's going to get fired if we keep it going, man. He doesn't have any excuses, man. I thought Brandon's going to set me up for a California college football question, man. But like, no, man, that's a bad loss. That's for sure a bad loss. You know what I'm saying? They went from, you know what I'm saying, sniffing the playoffs because they were sniffing and humping around 14-12 this year. Yes, 12-7.
Say hovering or humping?
Hovering.
He said humping around the playoffs.
Get your mind together. Get your mind together. College football. But like, nah, man, they were hovering around in the teens. And California, that was out of the, that was unforgiving right there. So this needs some ain't no bouncing back. You want to, whatever games they got in front of them, try to win them. And again, try to not hope that the Clemsons in the world don't start thinking a little differently and start rating some of your talent like they probably are going to next year if Dabo thinks he's going to be there. But like, no, man, I think to shift a little gears, man. I don't know if y'all want to where y'all want to end at or not, man. From a network standpoint, I know I sent out a message to Brandon a little earlier, man. The California teams that have been absorbed by the Big Ten and also by the ACC, the network, like you would thought, like the ratings and whatnot, it has not been what the network have kind of wanted. You know what I'm saying? So there's outside of the top four teams in the Big Ten, when you talk about Penn State, Michigan, uh, who am I forgetting? Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Who am I forgetting? Or even Oregon a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not pulling them in. You know what I'm saying with the ratings and whatnot. So like we can throw out a Nebraska on. You know what I'm saying? Big Ten can throw out a Nebraska on you. And you know what I'm saying? But like you know what I'm saying? Iowa when you put them in prime time. You know what I'm saying? That low scoring does not, you know what I'm saying, does not necessarily attract or the matchup does not necessarily attract, you know what I'm saying, with college football wants or sees when we watch a SEC like kind of, you know what I'm saying, light them up kind of game or we watch a Big 12 kind of light up game in. So it's not like they're getting ready to jettison, you know what I'm saying, USC or UCLA, you know what I'm saying, UCLA from the Big Ten or anything like that. And then like the $2 billion deal is still on hold because again, a lot of people are immediate rights deals. You know, a lot of people got to answer to a lot of other people when it kind of comes to that, and like who you got to play, where you got to play. But like, man, California football has not necessarily been the best, you know, what I'm saying, thing as far as absorption, from the Big Ten and the ACC standpoint.
Yeah, good point. I think on one of our shows we talked about it, and Oregon's holding down the West, but SC or UCLA's got to pick it up along with Arizona State. If not, you talking about California falling into the ocean. I mean, the West Coast could fall into the ocean because the talent is coming east.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at the line of demarcation from Mountain Time, everything's going Mountain Time east, other than up there the Pacific Northwest at Oregon with that Nike line.
Yeah. How about it was mentioned today that Mike Norvell's got his job still another year at Florida State.
That's a good keep. I like that.
Damn.
Not because I think he's a great coach, but again, you can keep turning over coaches all you want. Maybe it's something fundamentally with your organization. Mike is the I want to say the fourth coach in the last 12 years, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's your organization. And think about they put so much money in the NIL last year. They were second in the transfer portal next to the University of Miami. You got to get the right guys and you got to pay the right guys.
Correct.
Just because you're paying money doesn't mean you're paying it to the right guys. And I think they've shown, and that's shown this year for sure.
Yep.
Definitely, for sure. What else we got, fellas? What else we hitting on?
I got nothing on my agenda.
I got nothing, man. I'm
Maybe,
glad.
Maybe he had his vending session.
I'm glad. You know what I'm saying. The homies on the hardwoods. You know what I'm saying. Got a victory over the weekend. Purdue got you know what I'm saying. Good victory on the weekend.
2 victories.
Also going, you know what I'm saying, shout them out to Butler. And this make me look like no liar. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like when I scout a team, look at them and I say, hey man, I think they can make a tournament. I know that as they get into ACC play, they got a victory against Virginia today. Like that's on the road, man. The daggone tournament was in West Virginia, y'all. I don't think everybody kind of knows it, man. That was kind of, you know what I'm saying, a tournament they was not necessarily expected to win, not necessarily or finish second place in for sure. But like no, they win that tournament, go out there, get 2 victories against the South Carolina team and the Virginia team. I think Butler comes back and plays drumroll Wright State, another mid-major tough out, and then I think they play another mid-major
Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan, and then they get into that hardcore Big East play, and you know what I'm saying, later on in December. But like, nah, man, good outlook for both those teams, and that doesn't mean college basketball America that I'm hating on the Hoosiers, man. I just got to see more than you blowing out a good Lindenwood team. Where's Lindenwood team, y'all? Is it where they from? Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas? I'm
outside
not sure.
St. Louis.
Yeah, outside St. Louis. Yeah, I've been outside St. Louis. I know what kind of talent they got out there.
Hey, but I do have to give y'all this, right? I gotta give y'all this.
What is he doing? He didn't come with some sound effects.
That interview with Kellen Dunham.
He's a homie for life.
Listen,
he's a homie for life. There's like 2 more cut-ups, man. I was gonna share out, man. He's the homie for life, man. It was great. Just kind of just wrap it. And I had internet problems with Eastside Wireless and AT&T, and Brandon Reef had to take over. And you know what I'm saying? He, obviously very well prepared as well himself. But like, no, man, great. You know what I'm saying? Learning even more about Butler that you probably didn't even know. You know what I'm
saying? My point is, he looked as though he was enjoying himself. One of the things I pay attention to when we have guests on, are they smiling and engaged with what's going on? That dude, when he was telling you, Brandon, about the game they beat Gonzaga at the end when they stole it, I swear it was like he was sitting in your living room, sitting there drinking a nice cold Steve Weiser or a Bloody Mary, and enjoying
that man don't drink.
Listen, in all seriousness, I've seen a lot of you all's interviews over the last 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
He looked the happiest interviewee that you all have had.
Oh man,
I'm dead serious.
Well, he's a homie.
We've had some where it's Jonathan Birdsong asks a question and it's 1 or 2 word answer, and we're sitting there. Okay.
Yeah. He was laughing. He was like, "But this is kind of funny." Yeah, I mean, he enjoyed it, and that's what we want, right? We want regular people on our shows, so our viewers can enjoy, right? He was an enjoyable watch and listen, man. And I probably listened to the show probably twice, just because I liked him that much, right? So keep those things going. But listen, that's because of you all, right? So oftentimes, we have to help drive, these guests and maybe put it on a T for him at times. But for him, you didn't have to. He just really clearly enjoyed
into it, right, for sure.
Thumbs up for you all on that, man, for sure. Big time.
Appreciate it.
But other than that, fellas, we've got a few more minutes, but what you guys got working on this week?
Working on
just a little pre-show, pre-Thanksgiving episode. I think we're gonna go Tuesday night. I think we're talking, John, just because the holiday, John cooking pies, and I've got to get the turkey ready for my first deep fry on Thursday. So got to finish getting that ready. Turkey's already in the fridge for thawing out process.
Listen, Brandon, you got to thaw it out in the microwave, man. Don't go refrigerator for a couple of days. Put that bad boy in the microwave at about 15 minutes, man. As soon as you get done with that bad boy, drop
it. He said nuke the turkey.
Whoosh.
But no, you're right. Because to your point about the
and
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, and every Thanksgiving episode, people are clamoring on Thanksgiving because Jonathan Birdsong has to give his new updated list of his top 3 sides for Thanksgiving. So every year they are clamoring for his top 3 sides for Thanksgiving. I
thought they wanted my life. I don't know, man. I know we probably gonna be coming in hot on Tuesday, man. We got to definitely talk more NFL football. Coach did not come out on Victoria's side, so it's gonna be a Blue Monday tomorrow. Yeah. We're definitely gonna be talking enough college basketball. We also be talking Pacers, man. Hopefully they can scratch out a win.
Fuck it. Lose.
Play the young guys. Play hard, but just come up short.
Yeah, come up short. But man, I even got y'all know me crazy, man. I even got NBA draft stuff ready to roll. So man, I can't wait for Tuesday.
Yeah, we're gonna go NFL tomorrow, and I was gonna probably do a Cots Corner Tuesday night after the 12 team in my hopes of trauma for somebody, but you all are kind of talking me down now. Maybe I'll wait till Wednesday because I was really wanting to go in on Tuesday and say, yeah, I told you so. I just
don't see that there's gonna be a lot of chaos for it. I really don't. Like all the teams that need to win.
People want to be angry. People want to be mad.
People want to be angry, man. Hey man, before we go, man.
But if you bitch enough, like if people start bitching enough, it's the same thing week after week. Nobody hears you, right? Because like the little boy that cried wolf.
I wanted to say rest in peace to Rodney Rogers. He actually is one of my he's one of your favorites. Maybe not necessarily Hall of Fame, all those things, but from Wake Forest, Rodney Rogers, man. And whether you saw him play for the Denver Nuggets, the New Jersey Nets at one point, or even a couple of years that he played for Phoenix, 6 man a year, man. You see what the prototype, you could say, two-way player, 6'8", inside, outside. Yeah. Maybe not necessarily with the handles, man, but like, man, I remember him in some of them great Denver teams, him and LaFonso Ellis and Mahmoud Radu from Robert Kraft. You know what I'm saying? Brandon, we'll get to deep in the weeds, man, but like, I found it ironic, man. The game that Rodney Rogers scored, the 9 points in 8 seconds, whatever, man, Karl Malone threw the ball away twice. And nobody.
Well, he's used to shooting, not passing.
Right, man. He was an inbounder, man, and they stole. You know what I'm saying? They stole the ball from on inbound play from Karl Malone twice, man. But like Rodney Rogers, man, in the moment you put him, man, he's ready to shoot, man. But like, man, passing to see him, you know what I'm saying, hard to see him go, man. Especially with, you know what I'm saying, what he kind of had to endure in between, you know what I'm saying, off court, man. He was actually Brandon Reeves was kind of one of those people I wanted to talk to. You know what I'm saying? But I put out enough information about him. You know what I'm saying? It's great videos between YouTube, NBA, Wake Forest. You know what I'm saying? And every, you know what I'm saying, NCAA, all those. You know what I'm saying? Who got, you know what I'm saying? Man, he's one of the most dynamic basketball players collegiately and on a pro level that you ever wanted to see.
Yeah,
Rodney Rogers, RIP.
Definitely for sure. I'm gonna say, well, we've got our NFL show tomorrow. A little bit of recap on Tuesday. May have to do some sides or something to talk about on Wednesday, Thursday. But I think our sponsor, Mr. Matt Gaddis, and I are going to do a post-Thanksgiving show on Friday. We're going because we were talking about the Boilermakers, and he says, you know, I haven't given you the business that much because I know your boys lost. He said, but I think it's time for me to bring it out, bring out the hammer. So we're going to have some college basketball talk on Friday after we've watched NFL on Thursday. Sit back, eating a bunch of pies and sides and all that.
You want somebody to argue? You bring me in on with Matt Gaddis, respectfully. I'll argue with him, man, because the first time he ever came on our show, he was talking about Dream Team 90, whatever, couldn't beat any Dream Team currently. I was like, man, excuse me. I almost wanted to, stop the conversation.
Yeah, I gave him I went to his office and gave him the business on that one when I was.
We had a Hall of Fame person talking, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, man, respectfully, we're going to have to move on. But no, man, I'll for sure tap in and be watching for sure.
Definitely, for sure. But that's pretty much what we got, fellas. This weekend is going to be good, college football. I mean, we finally, think about this weekend we just had is basically on a scale of 1 to 10, a 0.5. This weekend is going to be a 10. It's going to be a 10 for sure.
More drama for your
life. Can't wait.
That's what we hope. Again, appreciate you guys being on with us. You all are up next week. If the opportunity presents itself, let's do this. Enjoy it again. Hey, enjoy the Thanksgiving festivities. Enjoy the rest of Sunday night football. Enjoy Monday night, and of course Tuesday with the recap show.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching.